A blind knight that uses echolocation, viewing the dark, treacherous world through sound. Trapped in a dungeon keep, endangered by combatants, where hazards lurk around every corner. Make sound to have vision, or don't and be stealthy. Avoid impaling threats throughout the dungeon to escape. Engage with other prisoners.
Rogue Knight I've been hearing about. Could you find the key and unlock my cell?
Free them to fight back with more allies.
Let's take this guy.
The Dungeon Labyrinth has many paths and even more traps. Struggle through the darkness to find your freedom.
When Alex became a god, he thought he would have no problems at all. Until... He landed in the Divine Dimension and was tasked with protecting the entire multiverse.
Am I connected to every single Alex Ambrose that ever existed?
Alex could travel across dimensions, defying the laws of time and space, to help other Alexes throughout the multiverse. But then everything changed.
No! Aw!
I have to go back and save them.
But if Alex went back to the mortal world, he would relinquish all of his power and his memories.
I don't have a choice. I must go back.
When Alex returned back to Earth, he goes back to being your average business tycoon millionaire, unaware that the people he cared most about are in danger.
Aw! Someone help me!
Yvonne, what happened?
I was attacked by a monster. Alex? What's going on? Get away from him! He is my boyfriend!
Who attacked Yvonne in the forest? What will Debbie do next? Who will Alex choose between the two women? Will Alex ever remember who he was before traveling into a different multiverse? To hear what happens next and whether Alex can stop the deranged monster before he strikes again, listen to the original audio drama, Insta Millionaire Returns, only on Pocket FM. Download the app now and find out.
Presentation. "125 laps is all that separates us from the end of the season, and it's all that separates one of our championship hopefuls from glory. It is Maul versus Haynes versus Michael versus Widener. The winner takes it all tonight. Round 36 of the season for the MaxV CNC Home Designs Truck Series. It's here under the lights at Phoenix International Raceway. Welcome once again to Turn 300's coverage of MaxV here on a wonderful Thursday night. I'm Tommy Cook, and once more it's Matt Williamson. Partner, we're about to get after it here in just about 3 minutes. It is Championship Thursday.
You're darn right we are, Tommy. I mean, this has been a 35-race-long season up to this point, and we are getting ready to set the stage for the 36th and final race of the season here. And we have 4 drivers that all have an equal chance at the surface of winning this championship here tonight.
Let's take a look at the tail of the tape, the season that has led us to get these final 4 drivers in the mix for the championship tonight.
Well, here it is, folks. The tail of the tape brought to you by Tommy Cook. And you see Charlie Widener there on the left side of the graphic. 2 wins this season, 1 win in the playoffs. He's had 13 top 5s and 92 laps led this season. His last race at Phoenix in March, finished 12th, the worst of the 4 drivers in the playoffs. So I'm sure Charlie's probably put in quite a bit of work here for this one. Greg Mall, 2 wins on the season, also 1 win in the playoffs. 11 top 5s, 321 laps led for Greg, and he finished 6th his last trip here in March. Justin Michael, 8 wins on the season, by far the most of these drivers, but no wins in the playoffs. He's been on a little bit of a slump, but he's looking to get out of it, dig out of it to become a champion here tonight. 16 top 5s, 875 laps led. That's just not a real number. He finished 7th at Phoenix in March. And Rob Haynes, 3 wins on the season. 1 of them came in the playoffs, 13 top 5s, 192 laps led. And he finished the best out of any of these drivers in the March race at Phoenix. So, I mean, if you just go off of their last Phoenix race, Rob Haynes has the advantage here.
Yeah, and it's interesting. Justin Michael just really does not have any momentum on his side, at least on Thursday nights headed into tonight, even though he has the most wins. I would say he's the odds-on favorite given his track record here at Phoenix. But it's all to play for here tonight. The winner takes all. Highest finishing of these 4 drivers will walk away with the 2024 long season championship for the Max V CNC Home Designs Truck Series. This is it for Max V in terms of their coverage on Turn 200 in 2024. But they've got some off-air action and some quite good off-air action to promote here as well. The schedule has been unveiled for some off-season shenanigans, if you will.
These are shenanigans for sure, and this is gonna be a fun one. It's being deemed the Max V Winter Series. Will be on at 8:30 Eastern. On the following dates. You do get one faster pair. We are at super speedways. It's basically a super speedway league alternating between Daytona and Talladega. And 11:21 is the first race. The old trucks, the 2008 Legacy truck, is on the docket. I could not tell you the last time I sat in the cockpit of that one. That should be a fun one. The Nationwide Impala. I mean, they are really digging deep for some of these awesome cars here. Xfinity 2014 and 2016 will be there at Daytona after that. And then they're doing Gen 4 and Gen 6 Cup back-to-back. I think there is an off week there for Christmas and whatnot, but that's going to be a fun one. Next Gen Cup, Xfinity and Craftsman trucks will round out the Winter Series at Daytona.
And that should about bring us back to the 2025 opening season. It'll be chopped into 2. We're not doing the long season next season, but for sure we can tell you the spring season will be right here on Turn 200. But before we get to there, we got to get through tonight, and we've got to crown ourselves a champion for 2024. Here's your final starting lineup for the 2024 season, and it is one of your championship 4, Justin Michael, who will lead the field to the green flag. James Lehman is back in the lineup after missing Martinsville last week. He is on the outside pole. Greg Mall is 3rd. He is sporting the red numbers and tire rims as well. We'll tell you about that more here in just a second. He starts in 3rd. Scott Patton, who's led the most laps this season, is tied with Justin Michael for the most wins, but is not championship eligible tonight. He will line up to his outside. On row number 3, then it's Heath Smith on the inside. Matt Montalbot is back this week. He starts in 6th. Riley Tilton, podium finisher last week, still looking for that proper first win. He starts in 7th with Jack Watts to his outside. Chris Howell and Rob Haynes back there in P10. Haynes winning your championship 4. It's Mike Milfelt lining up next to his teammate, Charlie Widener, the other championship 4 driver, starting exactly where he finished in the spring back in P12. It's Brandon Groover and Brad Slagle on row 7. Row 8 is Dana Rogers and Will Kirk and Kerry Cleaver, your 17th and final starter here tonight. Bit of a smaller field, but we are getting ready to go here at Phoenix International Raceway, and it is about that time to get the action underway. But before we do, one more time, Matt Williamson, what are the weather conditions? What are the strategy notes? What are we looking for here tonight at Phoenix?
Well, we are going to be under the lights, so track conditions are going to be pretty cool here for the drivers. 87 degrees is the track temperature. A little bit of wind to contend with, not going to be as prevalent here maybe at this racetrack as others, but still something to keep our eye on. Gusts well over 10 miles an hour. We have 160 laps here tonight. Is that right?
It's 125. Sorry.
125. Sorry about that. I thought it was 125. So stage break is going to be at the completion of lap 38. But remember, points do not matter here. So the drivers are just looking to put themselves in the position to get to the lead, win this race, and win the championship.
What does ABBA say? The winner takes it all. The loser standing small. Well, I think the quote-unquote losers have a lot to hang their heads high about after tonight is all said and done, but one driver will walk away as a champion. Justin Michael and James Lehman on the front row. Michael leads the field to green. He's in control of the championship as we head towards turn number 1 through the dog leg. Track conditions are improving, but these drivers were slipping and sliding all through practice. Michael leads the opening lap. Maul is still in third. Rob Haynes is up to 9th. Charlie Widener up to 11th. And James Lehman looking for the lead here on his teammate.
James being aggressive early here and is going to take the spot. Michael, of course, always wanted to try and save tires early, so no surprise to see the aggressive Lehman go through here.
And we'll see if Greg Maul's going to follow suit here and pick his way up into second. Especially when those stage points on the line here. No reason for Justin Michael to fight here early. And with a guaranteed caution on lap 38. Charlie Widener up to 10th, still trying to fend off the 88 of Chris Howell. As Rob Haynes is knocking on the door of Jack Watts here for spot number 8. Here's Maul and Michael. Two of the championship hopefuls. Maul currently with the championship here on lap number 5 with the pass. First time we've done a championship 4 race here on the channel.
Yeah, this is not a format that we've seen a whole lot on turn 200. In fact, not at all in this particular manner. So yeah, it's our first opportunity to get our taste of a real-life NASCAR Cup Series type of broadcast for a championship race here. It's a different feeling for sure.
How perfect of a regular season Justin Michael had. And his playoffs, I wouldn't say have been dreadful, but they've certainly been below expectations. But he's still here. He could still win the championship, even without winning a race in the playoffs.
I was going to say, if you would have told me that through 9 playoff races he would be winless, I probably would have scoffed at you before the playoffs started.
Certainly.
Rob Haynes does get underneath of Watts. He's not able to clear the 77. Actually, Watts has a great run out of turn 2, so Watts is going to keep the position. So Haynes and Widener, two of our championship hopefuls, trying to get something going here early. Can't quite make it work, but maybe they're just laying back and saving a bit.
Yeah, no reason to panic this early. Again, a stage caution out on lap 38. But you would like to be a little bit close to the front of the field here for when that caution does come out, and inevitably everybody will come down pit road.
Still a lot of racing left before that break comes. I know it's only a mile-long racetrack, but 38 laps. Doesn't click by super quickly here. You have time to be patient.
Yeah, 27 and a half, 28 second laps. Already about a half a second of fall off from the purple lap to the lap that James Lehman is running currently. Half a second in just 11 laps, and that is only going to get worse.
Now Watts gets underneath of Montembault, and I'm sure Haynes. Oh my goodness, nearly contact between the two. I say Haynes is probably going to try and follow Watts through, but if he tried to there and they made contact, could have been disastrous for the 199. Hello to everybody that's in the chat. Mason Knapp, Chris Clements, Michelle Kirk, and Shelly Mall are all in the chat already. Thanks for tuning in to the championship race here. Most of you have followed along for the entire season, and I think you all deserve a round of applause as well. It's been a long season here.
Yeah, the long season, the longest season we've had on the channel, no doubt. But when the drivers and admins are calling it the long season, you know it's long.
It's cool to see it be done, though. I know they're going away from it next year, and I don't necessarily blame them, but it's been cool to watch it unfold for at least one season here.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, why not? Why not have a go? So Lehman maintaining his advantage on Mall. It's about 3/4 of a second. Mall and Justin Michael ran the exact same lap time last time around. This time, Mall continues to be just slightly quicker. We're talking hundredths of a second faster than Justin Michael here. I think this is a little bit of indication here tonight, thus far anyway, for James Lehman. We know he's good on the short tracks and the intermediates. Had a chance to make the championship 4 last week at Martinsville, but was sidelined due to some lingering injury issues. Martinsville is definitely one of the more taxing races that you could do on the sim. I can speak to that from experience.
Yeah, Martinsville's a tough place to go in with some sort of physical injury for sure, or even just a sickness or something like that. I mean, it takes a lot out of you to wheel it around Martinsville and do it well. So yeah, that was a tough one, and he was in a must-win position, having to miss some time for some other races as well, and it just didn't come to fruition.
Justin Michaels started to inch his way closer here to Mall, as Mall has backed off the pace quite a bit from James Lehman.
Maybe Mall trying to start to save here, or maybe he's burned it up. We're going to find out. Keith Smith reeling in Scott Patton here. Smith and Patton are in 5th and 4th respectively, so Smith looking to get up to 4th. Michael edging closer to the 7 of Mall here.
Last time by, Michael was the quickest out of the top 5. Not a surprise if you've seen really any race here. You know Justin Michael's fast, and you know he waits to put it on display. He'll take second place away, and he's got control of the championship back.
And Mall didn't try and fight him too hard there either. Let him have it. Tried to maybe sneak back underneath, but could not get the drive off.
That dogleg makes everything look so much more dramatic than it probably is. But I will say a couple of drivers tried the dogleg move into runs a little bit and got loose and spun out in practice. So it's whether it looks seamless of a transition or not on the broadcast, it's not. I could assure you it isn't.
Well, Rob Haynes just went down there because he is underneath of Jack Watts again. The last time he tried this, it was about the same exact scenario, and again, Watts around the outside of turn 2 is able to prevail.
Haynes a full lane higher than Charlie Widener there. Trying to get some momentum and get back away from the 95. I don't really think of Phoenix as being that kind of a momentum track where you try and move and it doesn't work and all of a sudden you're having to play defense, but that's kind of the scenario that Haynes is in right now. Ooh, Charlie a bit loose there. Can combo it into a look, I suppose, but
I thought it was a look, and maybe he just played it off that way. Not sure.
well, he's cool like that.
Chris Howell is all over the back of Widener here as well. I think Howell is going to try and move forward. Howell, of course, has had a great second half of this season and has been really consistent in the playoffs as well.
Scored himself an outside pole on Monday nights in Truck 200 as well, so things have been looking up. Chris Howell of late. Heath Smith took the actual pole in that race. That'll be on Monday night. So if you're wanting to see your favorite Max V drivers continue to race in the trucks, look no further than Truck 200 on Mondays here on Turn 200. Smith got so low there looking for a way through on Scott Patton that he actually clipped the pit exit line. And normally you get a penalty if you do that, but Smith did not, so he got away with that one. They've got Riley Tilton rolling up rather quickly here. Justin Michaels starting to eat into the advantage of James Lehman. Now that lead is inside of a second.
Chris Howell looking to the inside of Widener here again through turn 4. Here in the middle of the pack, nobody's really been able to make any of these moves stick. They've all attempted to make passes here, but have had a tough time getting any accomplished.
Oh, Haynes with a good fake out there. He just faked a move, made Jack Watts drive it deep, and now he's going to try and line up something maybe on the outside. Watts with a good answer, though, down onto the flat in the dog leg.
Haynes has tried the inside of the 77 a couple of times, and down here in turn 2 has not been able to make it happen on the inside, so I think was trying to dupe Watts into getting to his outside there and having the same advantage.
All trying to wrap the bottom. There's Widener all the way up to the wall. They'll continue to be side by side. Howell trying to get back into the top 10. And just as I said, Justin Michaels eating into the advantage. James Lehman. Lehman's pulled back out by another tenth or so. So it's hovering right around a second.
James Lehman trying to play spoiler and have himself a good cap to his season. That would be sweet to win the season finale and take it away from one of the Championship 4 drivers.
Nine laps left in the stage at the stripe. Heath Smith has faded away a bit from Scott Patton and is being closed in on pretty quickly here by Riley Tilton.
Yeah, in fact, most of this middle pack has started to catch these folks because Montalban and the rest of that crew is not really that far behind. Oh, as Howell is trying to get to the inside of Widener again, and again, not able to pull up alongside quite there, and is starting to run out of time to do so before the stage break.
I think on any other night, Charlie would be enjoying that. Loves scrapping and getting his elbows out, but I would imagine he and Rob Haynes both are pretty frustrated at this point by not being able to move forward.
Brandon Groover, Brad Slagle having a nice little battle back here. Groover gets out in front of the 052.
They are both in the return 200 on Monday as well. Charlie Widener's been in this spot already. I believe last week he was in the Final Four for the Icon Cup Series, and I believe he came up one spot short in attaining their championship. Here's Haynes with a lunge to the inside of the 77. And Widener.
Oh, Widener might get to the middle. Not quite, but tried
Does
to
he
take
want
a look.
to?
I think he did. It seemed so.
I mean, why not?
Riley Tilton has caught right up to the back of Smith here. They were nearly side by side through turn 4 that last time around. Whoa, look at Widener all the way up to the wall.
Yeah, Haynes ran him up into the wall just about. They nearly made contact. Huge run, though, for Widener off the top side, and he's going to take the spot away.
Wow, might have to keep that one in the bag of tricks for later on in this one. And Howell has got to the outside of Haynes, and I think Howell is going to make the pass. He does, so Haynes moves backwards.
Widener to P9, and this is the time you need to start making up spots. If you want a shot, there's a chance that we go green to checkered after the lap 38 caution that's coming up here. You need a positive delta before you get ready to come down pit road here. Justin Michaels left Greg Mall behind. He's gapped him by about 2 seconds, but he's not been able to make up anything on James Lehman. Lehman across the stripe this time will close pit road. Lehman also about to catch Will Kirk here. Charlie Widener's got a lap to make up the spot here on Jack Watson, move himself up to 8th.
Oh, super loose there.
One to go. James Lehman is into turn number 4, and he will cross the stripe and take the stage victory, the final one of the season. Justin Michael, bookmark it, lap 38. He is in control of this championship. It was Mall early, then Michael with a pass, about the halfway mark of the run. Ninth for Widener, 11th for Haynes. And everybody should be coming down pit road here. These drivers should all be good to make it to the end on one more stop. Jack is dropped for James Lehman, and he'll win the race off of pit road. Justin Michael barely beating out Scott Patton there. So Patton leapfrogs Mall So Greg is back to P4. Heath Smith in 5th, Riley Tilton 6th, Matt Montalbot 7th, Jack Watson 8th, Charlie Widener in 9th, and Chris Howell in 10th. Exactly how they finished the stage other than the jump there for Patton. Rob Haynes the 11th, Brandon Groover, Mike Milfelt, Brad Slagle, Kerry Cleaver, Dana Rogers, and Will Kirk. I think Will Kirk has called it a season.
So a break for a stage is now going to set the stage. And I think you said it earlier, Tommy, that there's a very good chance we go green from here on out to the end of the race. So whoever is able to take care of their tires the best, in my opinion, is probably going to have a good shot at this one, because they fall off fairly quickly here.
Loved what I saw out of James Lehman there on that run. He might have an opportunity here to steal the win. It'd be the second of the season for him. But it's hard to argue against, for the championship contenders, it's hard to argue against the track position and the pace of Justin Michael.
I think it's just always hard to bet against Justin Michael.
I was just about to say, it's hard to bet against the driver as well. Definitely, that is the case.
They should be going green with 83 laps to go, so that would put us in position for a couple of 41 and 42 lap runs here. So just a little bit longer than your stage was there to begin this one.
We could go caution-free to the end, but will the pendulum swing the other way? Is this about to devolve into a winner-take-all race, like you would kind of expect? Like sometimes the real-life truck series becomes.
I think these drivers take care of each other better than the real-life drivers probably do.
I agree with you wholeheartedly, but regardless, we're about to find out. That was not a good start there for Justin Michael. Scott Patton is up to second right away, and Michael fighting to hang on to third. Here's Greg Mall. Smith is
like
very loose.
Widener got into the wall, I think.
Yeah, I think Widener, in reaction to Heath Smith with a bit of a tank slapper there, gets up into the wall. Smith is back a few positions. Widener now under fire from Rob Haynes and Jack Watts in formation. Oh, Mike Milfelt down onto the apron, and there goes Kerry Cleaver. And
that might be one.
It might. He's going to have to pull back onto the track. He gets it back up to pace. I think we're staying green.
That's how quickly it can happen, though.
Yes. Crucially, Greg Mall now has lost a spot here to Riley Tilton. So some separation for Justin Michael, but Tilton is looking to get through here on Michael to get onto the podium.
Haynes and Widener battling hard here amongst each other. Widener only in 7th at the moment. Both of them need to try and work their way forward in this green flag run. Otherwise, they are going to have a tough road to hoe.
Personal best lap for Scott Patton in his pursuit of James Lehman for the race lead. Greg Mall is right back up to Justin Michael here.
Mall faded just a little bit at the end of the last run. Was able to learn anything different to utilize in this green flag run.
We've seen this happen a time or two with Justin Michael here this season, as Greg Mall, with a little look there, Michael doing this protect strategy, trying to save the tires, goes a little bit too hard. And sometimes we'll lose positions and can't quite claw him back, or we'll get caught in somebody else's mess in the middle of the pack. So wants to avoid that here. Already back to fourth. Well, Nate, these guys are pretty damn good. There's some serious truth to that. These guys are rocking and rolling here, week in and week out.
Excited to see the clash on the racetrack, though, on Monday nights.
Yes. Hopefully we'll see the Little Caesars machine back in action in Atlanta in a couple weeks.
Enjoy the car inside camera from Nate Siefker, by the way.
So things are status quo for now. Michael trying to get away from Maul. Patton's pursuit of Lehman has held, but he's still not that far behind. Just a few truck lengths here. Widener trying to march forward. He's caught Math Montalban. One thing's for sure, I don't think your Championship 4 have option tires today. I don't think they're running any different templates or bigger motors or anything like that.
No, I don't think that is probably the case. They do have a couple extra sets sitting in there waiting for him, though, I can tell you that. I don't think, we always, now when I think of saving a set of tires, I only think of Charlie Widener. And I don't think that strategy is going to be able to come into play for the 95 here tonight.
And just think of all the highlights. I know, they've had a lot more races than we typically have in a normal season, but so many highlights. You can make a top 10 of the channel and it just be Max V highlights from this season. I mean, these guys have been ridiculous in the best way possible.
So Charlie Widener got through on Math Montalban, and now Christopher Howell is looking to do the same. So the 21 seemingly slipping away just a little bit here.
And speaking of slipping away, the lead is slipped away for James Lehman. Scott Patton just took a look through the dog leg. But Lehman running the outside, able to get back away by a couple truck lengths. But Patton is searching around, looking for a way up to P1. He's not done trophy hunting. Just because he can't get the championship doesn't mean he doesn't want the dub.
Gotta tell you, I didn't see this coming so far tonight. All of our championship hopefuls, the Championship 4, outside of podium positions.
No, certainly not. Expected Michael, at least, if not Maul as well, to contend. But they're barely hanging on to the top 5 here. Rob Haynes is back in 9th. He's staying somewhat in touch here with Chris Howell. So we'll see if he is trying to play the long game here.
I'll tell you what, with Michael and Maul slipping back a bit here, Widener's not that far behind. He's kind of put himself back in this thing a little bit. Now, he may have had to push a little too hard early in this one to get himself there, but we know he can at least get up there. And now he doesn't have all the traffic in between him and his adversaries. This is game-changing for the 95 at this point in the race.
This could be a big game changer here as well. Riley Tilton all of a sudden has pulled the parachute. He is backed right up to Justin Michael in the last lap. Fastest driver on the track last lap was Greg Maul. As Michael's going underneath of the 58 of Tilton to try and get himself back onto the podium. Tilton fighting back on the outside.
Not able to get it done there, and we've seen passing be somewhat difficult in the middle of a run here. Tilton going to try and use the outside for defense, and that has worked well for many drivers so far here tonight. It works well for Tilton there as well.
Here's Maul inside of a truck length. Passing has been proving difficult, especially after the midpoint in the run. But passes are going to have to happen here if anybody wants to unseat Justin Michael.
Yeah, I mean, when you think back to the first part of this race before the stage break, most of the passing did happen before we got to 15 to 20 laps on the tires. After that, it kind of slowed down, and seemingly the same has happened here. Passing happened in the first 10 to 15 laps of the run, and now, even though Tilton's lap times seemingly have fallen off a bit, Michael is having a very tough time even getting alongside the 58. That may dictate some pit stop strategy should we get green flag pit stops here. Might come in a lap or two earlier to put yourself out front and be able to play that defense.
Tilton again fends it off. Hello to Joshua Matacek in the chat.
So Michael not able to get it done. Scott Patton is searching around to try and get to the lead. He was way up high through turn number 1, trying to get that big run off. Oh, Tilton to the wall.
Tilton into the wall. Well, Justin Michael sent it in there. It wasn't quite clear, but he licked it and sent it, and it's going to work out anyway. So Michael with some separation now to Greg Maul.
Now the big question is, can Maul get the same done? He takes a peek to the inside.
Boy, it's going to be a killer for Maul if he cannot get around the 58 here. Michael with some clean air out in front. He's got 2.5 seconds up to Scott Patton.
Patton still looking around, trying to find a way to get even up alongside or get a nose in on the number 50 of Lehman. Just like that, we are past the halfway mark in this race, Tommy, already.
And we're seemingly halfway through this run here as well.
Yeah, you're exactly right there. We're looking for about a 41-lap run to the end, most likely. Maybe a little bit longer if somebody tries to short pit everybody else. But yeah, right around lap 84, 85 is probably when we're going to see a majority of the folks come in.
We talked about Greg Maul driving his truck like a sprint car last week in Martinsville, hanging the rear out. I'll tell you what, right now, he looks like he's driving a Ford Taurus. These front tires are sliding, and that is not going to be very helpful. But he is pushing hard, trying to find any way through here on Riley Tilton as Justin Michael started to drive away.
Haynes just really hasn't been able to get anything going here. Still sitting back there in 9th. Has been battling with Howell all night. Both of them catching up to Montenbalt. Time is starting to tick away for the 199, and he's probably feeling it inside the truck.
Definitely. Well, you've been in 2 Championship 4 scenarios in a super speedway league as well, and unfortunately been on the wrong side of them both times. I mean, it's a helpless feeling knowing where you are relative to your competitors as the laps start to tick away and realize there's not a whole lot you could do.
Yeah, I mean, in the super speedway scenario, at least there's usually a glimmer of hope in a wreck or getting a third lane to move miraculously. Here at Phoenix, I mean, when you're sitting back there in ninth, there's really just no Hail Mary you can throw. I mean, not even on tire strategy can you even really throw a Hail Mary in this sort of a race at a racetrack like Phoenix. So it's a different feeling, I'm sure, for Haynes, because it feels more helpless than probably those situations I was in. We're starting to near that opportunity to throw the Hail Mary too, but I'm not sure what he can do from ninth. I just don't know if there's really anything that can be done. Oh, and he's completely sideways off of turn 2. I mean, you could tell he's really wanting to push it. He's trying to make it happen, but the card's just not falling the way of the 199 right now.
Well, he may be looking for the nuclear football here, and Heath Smith may have just given him the playbook. Smith is down pit road from 10th. So early stop for the 1. We'll see if this shakes anything up.
I mean, could Haynes go for a 2-stop race here from here on out rather than a 1-stopper? I mean, I guess that's possible. That would be more of a logical, or maybe not logical, but at least something that might be able to work more than just coming in a few laps early. But then you put yourself 1 lap down, and if something does happen, you're just really at a disadvantage.
Smith is on and off pit road. Justin Michael is catching Scott Patton and James Lehman. Here's Jack Watts coming down pit road now.
Very interesting.
This is right about 50 laps. Here's Greg
Mall's
Mall
coming down. All right, this must be the play. Either that or Mall feels like he has to do something drastic. But he was not all that far behind Justin Michaels, so a little bit surprised to see Mall be the one to come down here. I thought it would be either Widener or Haynes.
We'll see if Justin Michael answers here. He will not this time. I mean, if nothing else, Mall needs a way through on Riley Tilton. But this should get him the Tilton spot and the Michael spot. With a couple laps, fresher tires for now anyway.
I mean, lap fall off right now is right about 1.5 seconds.
That's rough.
I mean, that
is rough.
That is a lot of fall off.
But to point out as well, Justin Michael looking for extra insurance. He is a 10th up on Patton and Lehman right now, lap by lap. Has been for the last 5. Here's James Lehman from the lead.
Whoa, he slid it in there. I'm not sure if he made it.
I think he did, but that was awfully... If the pace car is anything to go off of, it's pretty risky to not go in there straight.
I love
That'll
that
never
has
get old.
continued to live.
How could it not? So new leader Patton, he doesn't look like he's coming this time. Michael's not coming this time.
That's still early for Lehman. I mean, that is probably 5 laps earlier than I would have expected. Tilton now down pit road. Michael Milfelt down pit road as well. maybe they just feel like they burned it up on this one a little bit too early and are able to have the knowledge and the know-how to save a little bit more on this next one. With Lehman being out front, I'm surprised to see him come in that early.
Maybe he was already planning ahead to fight off Justin Michael, knowing that Michael was closing. I think it was unfair to assume that Michael's advance may have stalled at some point. Still Lehman going for it here. He wants the dub. He'll do whatever he thinks it takes to do that, short of wrecking Justin Michael, I'm sure. Any other night, probably not, but probably not tonight. Here's Charlie Widener. So Michael, technically with the overcut here, but really just playing it more straight.
Yeah, I mean, Widener there is more of your traditional short pit play at, maybe 2 or 3 laps early. That's more of a normal, I'm going to come in a couple laps early to try and edge out in front on the cycle and then try and fend them off if they have that tire advantage and it comes to use for them. Some of these other drivers came in way early.
Last lap for Widener was about 0.2 slower than Michael.
So either coming down pit road this lap or one of the next 2 laps would be playing it basically right down the middle.
Math Montalbald is down. Rob Haynes is down as well. So it is now Justin Michael, the last of the championship 4 to pit.
I love it from Rob Haynes. Just let everybody else go crazy. Let everybody else try and come in way too early or way too late. I'm just going to put it down the middle and let it fall where it may. In this situation, maybe not all that bad.
Patton and Michael's still out front. Chris Howell, Brandon Groover, Brad Slagle have yet to come down pit road. Everybody else has been down.
Well, here comes James Lehman getting ready to unlap himself. But still a long way to go on that set of tires for the 50.
A 27.6 for Lehman last time by compared to a 28.5 for Patton and Michael both. Here's Brandon Groover from 4th, and here's James Lehman looking to get back on the lead lap. And it should be no problem.
And that's 10 laps on that set of tires for Lehman already. And that's how early he came down. Patton and Michael still out on the racetrack.
Yeah, this is going to be tough for any of the championship 3. And also for Lehman to hang on to the lead eventually.
Greg Mall has caught up to Heath Smith here. Mall with about 3 lap fresher tires in the number 1. Really interested to see if Mall is able to get through with any sort of pace.
Here come Patton and Michael.
Leaders are down pit road.
So they don't wait too much longer than the halfway mark of the run. Chris Howell now will stay out and inherit the lead for the first time.
Tommy, seems like Greg Mall is having some trouble getting around Heath Smith, even with a few lap fresher tires. This This is why you saw a bunch of drivers come down early.
Wanted to get themselves out of gaps and into clean air, but they found themselves in new gaps instead. Lehman is through on Michael and Patton, as those two have yet to leave pit road. Michael, or rather Maul and Smith are through as well, so are Riley Tilton. Charlie Widener is through, as Patton and Michael now going to re-enter the racetrack. A lot fresher tires on those two, and not much ground to clear, at least to catch up to Charlie Widener. They are both clear of Rob Haynes. Laying it all out there.
Widener came in just about 10 laps ago. Widener might have been saving quite a bit for those 10 laps, though, and now, once they get to him, is going to start really using the tires up, trying to play defense. Justin Michael, a little bit more trouble getting through some traffic here than Scott Patton.
But again, Michael doesn't need to win. He just needs to beat the other three.
Man, to me, Greg Maul really needs to get out in front of Heath Smith here, but just cannot make it happen. Brad Slagle down pit road.
So that just leaves Chris Howell to come down pit road. Lehman looking to cycle out to the lead, as Michael is through on Watts. And here's Howell.
I would say that's about as far as you can take the fuel, probably.
What these
Right
guys
around-
might also be hoping for would be a caution, but that doesn't seem quite as likely.
Patton already up alongside Charlie Widener. Should take the spot here through turn 3. Justin Michael is going to be on his way here very shortly.
We saw the overcut work quite nicely against Justin Michael at the hands of Chris Howell, who was the last driver onto pit road. At Homestead, not a very similar track to this, but similarly abrasive. So don't think Justin Michael wasn't paying attention. So it's now Maul in third, trying desperately to find a way through on Heath Smith. Smith is 6.5 seconds behind James Lehman.
Oh,
Oh,
Slagle's
no!
around! Caution is out!
Well, that will change everything.
Oh, my goodness.
Slagle in the 052, right at start-finish.
And all of a sudden, Greg Maul, who came down a little bit earlier than expected, looks like a genius.
Yes, sirree. What do you know? They're all coming down pit road.
Yeah, you have to with with the abrasive surface that you talked about. There's no option but to come get tires here.
Well, we've
And
seen
this
oh, go ahead.
Now, this is not the last set. I just want to remind that of everybody that even after they put this set on, they will have one more.
We've seen a pretty conservative Justin Michael here tonight. I think it's fair to say conservatism is about to disappear.
Yeah, I mean, Yeah, we're not going to have too much time left. I mean, you can't just go all out. You can't burn them up too quick. But you certainly don't need to lay back as Michael has been.
Thought maybe Michael would go with just right sides. I think Scott Patton may have, but Michael does not. He takes all 4. Lehman wins the race off pit road. Smith, Malt, Tilton, Patton, the top 5.
Looks like a bunch of drivers went with 2 tires only. Lehman with only 2 tires. Smith, Mall, Tilton, Patton. It looks like they all probably did the same here.
Charlie Widener beat Justin Michael off of pit road.
Wow. Very interesting. Boy, things just got shook up here, Tommy. There's
Yes,
no
they did.
doubt. There's no doubt about that one.
Well, how did they get shook up here? Let's take a look.
Yep, we're going to take a look at the replay. And Slagle had just come down pit road, so wondering if just pushing it a little too hard on cold tires and a colder track surface than it was earlier, mind you, and that is certainly what happened. The 052 with a self-inflicted incident through turns 3 and 4 here. And let's go inside the truck as well, get a look at how it felt from the driver's point of view. What's in there, right? Man. I mean, it not a whole lot of indication for it to step out on him, but certainly did not get out of the throttle.
Well, we may have some tinfoil caps in the chat saying, oh, but I just want to let everybody know that Slagle is Swiss in this. He is not on any of the championship teams. So we'll put that one to bed right now. His arm was not itching. That's fresh tires. It's easy to do. I'm surprised that's the first caution for incident here tonight. We have had a couple of incidents that just have not brought out a caution.
Yeah, I was
But
going
even
to say,
so,
I mean,
these drivers have handled it pretty well tonight.
yeah, I mean, that exact scenario happened with Kerry Cleaver right after the stage break, and they put fresh tires on. So, I mean, it's very easy to do on fresh tires on a cooler track surface than normal here at Phoenix.
We might see it again here. We got to restart. Everybody's on cold tires now. It's now Chris Howell and James Lehman at the front of the field. Greg Mull, Riley Tilton on row 2. Scott Patton, Charlie Widener, Justin Michael, Jack Watts, Rob Haynes, Matt Montalban. Mull with control of the championship. He's got a row of separation between he and Michael. Not a great restart on the outside there for Lehman. Here's Mull underneath. Here's Justin Michael taking it 3 wide to the bottom.
Playtime's over, folks. It's time to win a championship.
Oh,
Contact! Michael into the outside wall. Huge contact.
Oh, my goodness.
Rob Haynes into the wall as well.
That's 3 of the 4. Mull
Charlie
stays out
Widener.
ahead.
Oh, my.
That was
Sheet
Tilton
metal
on
flying
the
everywhere.
Tilton on the outside trying to get drive off. I think is coming into the line of Scott Patton. And that was what you fear right there. 3 of the 4 of the championship 4. Widener with a meatball. Might be out of it. Haynes with damage. Michael with damage, but no meatballs. Ay, ay, ay.
Haynes is coming down pit road. He's looking to get that fixed. There comes Scott Patton. A bunch of drivers going to be coming down to get damage fixed here. Let's take a look. You know what? Let's just go ahead and back it way up. Because we gotta see this unfold where Michael takes it down. I mean, he is all the way down through that blue line where pit exit is. Gets underneath of the 46 of Patton, so Michael, Patton, Tilton, and then for a moment, briefly, Charlie Widener 3 wide. Tilton carries a lot of speed up at the top of the racetrack, then starts trying to turn down and follows James Lehman, but he can't follow Lehman down there because Patton is to his inside. Lehman didn't have anybody to his inside, so the 50 was able to make that move cleanly. Tilton follows him down there, and the 46 is occupying that space. Patton, of course, had Michael to his inside, so really didn't have anywhere to go there either. And you see Patton right hooks Michael right into Charlie Widener. Let's see what happens with Rob Haynes here.
Just want to note that Haynes did not come down pit road with everybody else.
I mean, Haynes slides against the outside wall. I wouldn't say he took a big shot, but I mean, there's got to be some sort of damage there.
I mean, damage to the front end for sure.
I would say, I think Widener probably got the worst of it, if I'm being honest. Because Michael, although he hit the outside wall, hit it mostly with his rear. So shouldn't have too much engine damage. Shouldn't be down on power too bad. But Widener hit the outside wall with the front of the truck.
Yeah, Widener's meatball flag, his required repairs are already complete. So he's back out there.
I mean, you can see the damage to the front of the 95. I mean, my goodness.
James Lehman just asked Charlie, how dead are you? And Charlie said, I am on life support.
Yep.
So it's looking grim for the 95. I mean,
Ooh.
Justin Michael still has a truck with 4 wheels, so you can't count him out.
Yeah, but the nose is definitely bashed in. It's sometimes hard to tell with these liveries and the stickers and everything, but the front end is in rough shape on the 87 as well. But the back end in rough shape, also hitting the wall with the rear end there.
I think there are 9 trucks here in line. That took you out a lot.
I mean, that changed a lot. The last 20 laps has absolutely flipped this race on its head.
Well, here's Chris Howell. Back to green. Greg Mull. Now he's under fire. This is Rob Haynes underneath. Haynes with the damage. Challenging, though, for the championship on the inside.
Michael is loose.
Michael saves it. And for now, Mull prevailing on Haynes.
Mull trying to take it around the outside of Lehman here as well. Mull trying to solidify second. But more importantly, first of the championship for Haynes, trying to send it in.
Hardly anybody's had anything for James Lehman here tonight. All might be him. Howell might be him as well.
Think about this, Tommy. 40 laps ago, we were basically counting the 199 out. All of a sudden, he's right here with an opportunity.
All it took was the truck bouncing off his hood, and he's right back in the fight. If Mull gets trapped up top, Haynes might have a way through underneath. Does Haynes pull Ryan Blaney and send Lehman up into Mull?
I mean, he looks like he is driving this thing hard right now.
Wouldn't you? 36 weeks in, the opportunity has not been there at all tonight, and all of a sudden, it's right in your lap. Why not seize the moment?
Oh, super loose, though. Maybe pushing a bit too hard.
He's got 15 laps to figure it out. Lehman and Mull side by side. Mull right now would have the hardware at the end of it.
Maul having to work side by side for a lot of laps might not be saving a whole lot of tire here either. We might be looking pretty loosey-goosey by the end of this one.
Certainly.
Oh,
Lehman.
now Lehman going to get put in between the championship contenders.
Oh, Haynes has to roll out of it nearly up into the wall right at start-finish. Brandon Groover hanging here in the top 5. He's approaching the 199 and the 50.
Hal starting to slip back to the others here, just a tad.
It's worth pointing out that Howell was the last driver to come down pit road. He also did not come down under the caution with everybody else, so he has an extra heat cycle on his tires comparatively. So the bill may be coming due for that. Howell looking for win number 2 on the season. It'd be his second win in the last 3 weeks, rather. Maul would love 2 in a row for the road.
Tense moments here with only 10 laps to go in this season.
Michael and Widener are the last 2 on the track right now, running in 8th and 9th. And Widener is slipping away rather quickly. He may actually get lapped here by the end of this run.
James Lehman with a huge run on Greg Maul right now is going to get to his inside.
You know what Rob Haynes is rooting for here, but it's going to be a clean pass for James Lehman.
Well, importantly for Haynes, that makes Maul the next truck up on the racetrack, albeit quite a few truck lengths ahead.
Lehman's not wasting any time. He'll go right on the attack here, looking to get back to the point. But no doubt the driver 50's been the top dog tonight at Phoenix. He would love to take a second victory to close out the season. But you got to make the pass, and those have been difficult to come by tonight for everybody. Lehman, though, has a run. He'll look to the inside, cuts the dog leg.
Haynes not really losing anything on Maul, but not gaining either.
Well, now Maul's in the fight here. Haynes, like you mentioned, 3/4 of a second behind. If Howell starts to back him up, Haynes could be in range here. Unless Lehman and Maul could find their way through. Here's James to the peak down low. 5 to go at the stripe. And Maul nearly piles into the back of Lehman. Lehman sends the bumper up to the 88. Three teammates here with a 4th in tow. And Haynes is closing back in.
And traffic ahead as well. That's Charlie Widener. Lehman looked pretty loose. Maul looks really loose.
Haynes inching his way back into the championship fight. Time is running out. Where can Widener go? Where will he go? He might box out Greg Mall. Haynes inside of a truck length behind. 4 drivers, 5 drivers battling for a win. 2 drivers battling for a championship. 3 to go. Here's Haynes underneath.
He's got a big run, but can he get any drive off here?
Mall around the outside. Good momentum. Coming to the stripe. 2 miles to go. It's all to play for.
Oh, Groover puts himself on the inside of Haynes. Put him in a bad spot.
That might be enough. Can Haynes rally back? Will Mall make a mistake? Mall's up to second. Lehman still fighting. Lehman rolls out. Mall has the spot. Coming to the white flag. Final lap of the season. The championship hangs in the balance. Greg Mall. Haynes underneath of Lehman. It may be too little too late. Greg Mall looking for second place, and that's going to be good enough here to secure the championship for the long season. It's over. 2024 belongs to Greg Mall. Christopher Howell takes a second victory in the final 3 races of the season to cap off a great playoffs for the non-playoff driver. But Greg Mall, with a clutch victory last week in Martinsville and a Hail Mary on the tire strategy tonight. And Mall going to walk away with it tonight.
Mall had to battle for that one. No doubt about it. Greg Mall earned that one here tonight.
Muted celebration here thus far. There we go. The Polish victory lap here for Greg Mall. I got to see the paint scheme a couple days early. He sent it over. I think he'll be pretty pumped up about this one. Regardless of how it happens. He was still in a great spot before Michael sort of got taken out of the mix there. I mean, he could have very well had this one in the bag before that.
I mean, we saw how difficult passes were to make, and I mean, the rest of the championship 4 drivers were at least a couple of trucks behind, if not more. I think you're right. Easily could have won this one without the extracurricular activities.
Well, we can what if it to death and the coulda, woulda, shouldas and all that, but that's not how it played out tonight. And in fact, it's going to be Greg Mall walking away with the championship here tonight with a runner-up finish. And a fantastic postseason for him. Well done to driver number 7. We will talk to definitely Greg Mall. Hopefully we'll get to talk to your other Championship 4 contenders as well. I would imagine not a lot of them have very good things to say at the end of the night, but it'll be good to hear from them regardless before we turn everybody loose for the offseason here. We'll hopefully talk to your other podium finishers as well, because Chris Howell, kind of lost in all this, is going to walk away with a second victory. Congrats to him. We'll talk to him in a sec. We'll hopefully talk to James Lehman in third. Rob Haynes and Brandon Groover will round out the top 5. Solid run for the 41 here tonight. Good to take the top 5 on the road for him. Brad Slagle in 6, Mike Milfeld in 7, Justin Michael, Charlie Widener, Dana Rogers going to be the last driver running in P10. And then it's DNF's 4th, Scott Patton in 11th, Jack Watson 12th, Matt Montebault, Riley Tilton, and Heath Smith, Garrett Cleaver, and Will Kirk, an early retiree there in the 17th position. Well, I see Rob Haynes in the waiting room. Wasn't a podium finisher, but he was the closest in terms of the championship there, and man, had a go at it late with Greg Mall. Some damage on the truck there as well. It was a rather eventful night for you all of a sudden after that first caution for incident came out.
Yeah, Tommy, I didn't have a very good truck tonight. I don't know what was going on, but Phoenix isn't my best track, but yeah, I was probably top 10 truck, but deep in the top 10, and that happened. I only had 11 seconds damage. I went in, the guys fixed it. I was good to go. I'm sure there was still some visible damage, but it did say it was fixed. So yeah, I thought I had a chance on Greg there. Coming with 2 laps to go, I got a little bit to his inside, and I thought about bumping him, Tommy, but no. I mean, there's a place and time for that, and I don't know. I just didn't want to do that, and it was a good run. Congrats to Greg on the championship. Congrats to Chris on the win. That was awesome for Chris, and I had a great season. My first full-time season with Max V, and on turn 200 here, and I had a great time, Tommy. I really appreciate it.
Absolutely. Matt, you got anything?
Yeah, congrats on a good run tonight, but also just a fantastic season overall. It really has been a pleasure to get you up here in the booth and talk to you pretty often here throughout the season. And I got to be honest, was starting to count you out there a little bit towards the end before the cautions flew, but man, did you get an opportunity there, and you were driving the hell out of that thing to try and get that one done.
Yeah, I burned up the front tires a bit, Matt, just trying to do something, a different line, a different entry, different exit, something, and I just couldn't figure it out there. I thought I got to within, with that 2-lap mark to go, I thought I got within a space to maybe give Greg a little nice tap on the rear, but I wasn't in a position to do it and not spin them, you know what I mean? And I didn't want to do that. So, maybe next year or next season. And I'm also looking forward to what you guys got going on Monday nights. I'm really looking forward to that. I'm excited. And so, yeah, thanks. It's been a great season. Turn 200, Matt, Tommy, Bandit Motorsports, and Max Velocity CNC Home Designs. I appreciate it, man. We had fun, and congrats to Greg again on the champs.
Thank you for the time, as always. Always a pleasure to have up here in the booth. And, yeah, looking forward to moving our Thursday interviews to Mondays here. But I will hopefully talk to you again on Monday then.
I'm sure we will, Tommy. Thanks.
All righty, we're going to go in search of James Lehman here. I'm sure he's having a bit of a debrief with the rest of the admins. But we're going to hot swap James in real quick and see if we can get a word with our third-place finisher here tonight. I would say the best truck on the battlefield here tonight. Going to walk away with a P3. I would imagine some mixed emotions on that.
I wanted to wreck Chris pretty bad. I'm not gonna lie. I wanted the win tonight. I really did, because I was quick, man. I was fast, and yeah, I was enjoying running up front. Clean air really just lets you run. So. No, but yeah, it was good. It was a good race. I had a great truck. I had some amazing tire wear. It was surprising me. So,
Matt, what you got?
P3.
Yeah, it was a good run for you here tonight. I wanted to ask you about the pit stop. You came in pretty early there, a lot earlier than I was expecting from the lead. Might have expected some others behind you to come in a little bit earlier, but from the lead, I mean, was that kind of a plan from the beginning of the night? Had you been thinking about that one, or is it just something that felt right in the moment?
There's a little bit of mixture of just it felt right to just do it and try something different, and not do the typical, run it out until like there's like less than 10 laps in the tank. I ran a bunch of C Open races last week when they were at Phoenix, and I've seen it where it benefits if you pit early, because usually around lap 20 to 30 you just start running the same lap time, so it doesn't really matter. There's not really much of a time difference. So I just made it. I saw Greg do it, and I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna do it. Screw it, Made it. I mean, in my opinion, I think he pitted what he pitted, a lap or two before me, something like that. I think it was too soon. I think he should have waited until like at least lap 80, and it probably would have benefited him a lot better. But hey, if you don't risk it, you don't get the biscuit. So.
Put that on a t-shirt. Indeed. Yep. Thanks for the time here tonight. Congrats on a successful season overall. The long season, I know we're moving away from it, but man, it produced banger after banger. Interesting closing race here tonight, but a fantastic duel down to the end. And you were in the thick of it all night long. So great job here tonight. Great job this season. Shout outs for you for the red.
Just the shout out to everybody that's showed up this season and made this season. I know it was long, very good. And thank you guys for broadcasting all 36 races. It was amazing. I'm looking forward to next year with you guys and partnering again. And I'm just thank you to everybody, and thank you to everybody that watches, because you guys are the main reason why we do it. So not really, but a little bit of chit chat don't hurt. But I'll see you guys next week. Not next week. Fuck, damn. What? February?
Well, we'll see you on Monday.
I'll see you on Monday.
But also, we'll see you next Thursday anyway, just not on air. But
there you go.
Well, we appreciate the time. We'll let you get back
bro.
to
I'm sorry.
You're good. Have a good one.
Later.
Maybe
I'm not too
36
far behind.
races and
Yeah.
we get one on the last broadcast.
Well, it's going to happen eventually. We'll go out of sequence here. We'll talk to your race winner next. And it's 2 out of the last 3 for Chris Howell. He'll take the top step here tonight. And, man, what a call there. And it works out for you. Nice job.
I completely just got lucky, man. The caution just came out right after I had pitted. So, it's no brainer there. Just hope and pray I can hang on. And fortunate enough I did. But definitely had to work for it at the end.
I mean, you were in the thick of battles all through the back half of the top 10 all night. I mean, even with fresh tires, I mean, you of anybody would have to have appreciated how difficult it was to make passes. So, I mean, that seemed like a winning move, and it turned out it was.
Yeah, it was very difficult to pass once you get a couple laps on your tires. Just the competition's just so close, and the aero, it makes the turn in really hard behind another truck, and before you know it, the truck in front of you is a couple tenths in front of you, and it just keeps building as the run keeps going on. You just have a hard time catching up unless they make a mistake. So yeah, I was kind of hoping for another caution once I got to the lead, which it did come out, another caution, and then it was just a matter of hanging on for 20 laps.
Matt, what do you got for the race winner?
Yeah, congrats on the race win. I mean, you said it. You got lucky, but you had to work for it there at the end, and you held them off and did a fantastic job. So congrats on the win. You have really come on strong here in the latter half of the season. I know it's a little bit far away, maybe seemingly at this point, but what are we looking forward to for the next season of the CNC Home Designs Truck Series? Because I feel like you got a lot of momentum shifting your way.
I guess that all depends on how long the next season is when it starts. I think James had mentioned it maybe a couple seasons next year. I definitely plan on coming back and hopefully get a chance to race a full season and see what I can do. Pretty awesome to close out the season with a couple wins, and hopefully some of this momentum can carry on into the Turn 200 Truck Series. You know, I'm starting on Front Row Daytona next week, so we'll just try to keep it going.
Absolutely. Find momentum wherever you can get it. And, the high strength of field here on Thursday nights, being the top dog 2 of the last 3 weeks, I'd say that's good juju headed into Monday nights. So we'll look forward to seeing you on the front row on Monday. But we get some shout outs for you for the road up until that point. Great job here tonight. Who do you want to thank? Who do you want to shout out?
Well, I just want to give a big congratulations to Greg Mall for winning the championship this year. I know it's a long season. It's 36 races, and to come out as a champion, it's got to be pretty satisfying. So big congrats to him, and just want to shout out all the admins that put in the hard work each week, setting up these races and keeping all of us in check a little bit. We get a little rowdy sometimes, but James and Justin, Scott, Greg, Carrie, Johnny Hamby, Heath Smith, they all do a awesome job keeping this league together, and hopefully they stick around and keep going with this league. Also just want to also thank my teammates. I run with Bandit most of the time, and those are some pretty good teammates to have. It's just unfortunate that one caution kind of collected some of the championship drivers. I would like to see how that would have played out, but I also want to just do a shout out to my Twitch channel. I do have a Twitch channel. I believe I've shared it on this broadcast before, but you can find me at Topher Grace on Twitch, and just come hang out and chat and see what I'm up to. And other than that, just want to thank you guys for putting on the awesome broadcast all year long, all season long. Y'all do an awesome job, and I know you guys will continue to do an awesome job with the Trucks Series starting up. So, yeah, that's about it. I think probably my wife and my family.
Well, we know what you're up to tonight. You're up to winning and you're up to partying. So keep it up. We'll hopefully talk to you again on Monday, but go celebrate this one.
I'm going to leave my wife sleeping this time.
Howell with win number 2 on the channel, win number 2 in the last 3 races with the Max V CNC Home Designs Truck Series. Last week's race winner will translate that into a championship victory here tonight. It's time to talk to Greg Mall, who will claim the long season of 2024. He is the champion of the Max V CNC Home Designs Truck Series. Well done, partner. Congratulations.
Appreciate you, Tommy. Yeah, I had to go upstairs, put some water in my face, make sure I wasn't dreaming, but man, what a night. I thought throwback paint job to an old Cup car paint scheme that Scott at Patent Paints had made for me a few years back. Just thought it'd be a great final hoorah for the last race here at Phoenix. Felt like we had some decent speed, especially over long run, or especially over short run rather. I just noticed that Justin, Lehman, Scott, I mean pretty much all those guys at the top 5 early on were just a little bit better than us, but tried to do something different on strategy about midway through the race, and in hindsight that was just suicide if I'm completely honest. But yeah, just had to hold on to the track position that we had, and caught a lucky caution there, and just had to hold on and fight it out for those last 20-something laps.
I mean, luck is part of the equation in any winning formula. I mean, there's always going to be good breaks and bad breaks, bad RNG, if you will. But tonight it was good for a number of reasons. I mean, you were able to keep pace with Michael for most of a run. When you guys were in the thick of it there with Riley Tilton, I mean, he licked a stamp and mailed it there on Tilton. And I mean, it was just so hard to make passes any other way. I mean, is there really any other path to the championship for you here tonight than to try a seemingly out of the box strategy?
I mean, there was something looming in the back of my mind, just knowing that we had to do something different. I mean, we couldn't beat those guys heads up by any means with the speed that we did have after 30 some odd laps. So just knew that we had to do something different, but it was tough sledding just to see Justin pretty much kind of fade away at that point. I mean, I was kind of keeping Charlie relatively close to my rear view, but I just knew that Justin had the long run truck tonight, and if it was going to come down to it, it was pretty much all said and done at that point. So luck was definitely in our hands, and we just had to go and take the track position when we had it given to us there.
Matt, the champ is here. What you got?
He certainly is. Congratulations, Greg. Man, this is a cool one. We've talked about the luck, but I mean, after you get that lucky break, you have to buckle down and you have to get it done. And you did it here tonight. I mean, does your focus shift? Does your mental shift at all when that caution comes out and you know that you're gonna be in the position to win this thing?
I said after that big pile up on the backstretch, I didn't want to assume anything. I would have liked to have seen all four of us kind of duke it out there at the end for those last 20, 25 laps. But after hearing Justin and Charlie pretty much get caught up in the thick of it there, I knew Rob was going to be right there. And it was getting pretty tense those last 5 or 6 laps. I noticed that, with Lehman and Chris battling out for the win there right in front of me there at the time, I just knew that those two running side by side was just going to cost me time, and it was just, he was getting closer and closer in the rear view, so we just had to find something, and sure enough, we got a fender out in front of Lehman on the outside on one of those particular laps, and just kind of rode the top seam there, and just held on to second, knowing that's all that we got to do is finish in front of Rob, so got it done.
Fended off the hard charging Rob Haynes. It's no small feat, and it's no small feat to be the winner of the playoff format in the long season here. 36 grueling weeks, and you are the man on the top of the box when it's all said and done here tonight. Well done. Congratulations. You got all the time you want here. Shout-outs for you.
Appreciate you, Tommy. Yeah, of course, can't go without saying all the friends and family that have been back home watching on Twitch pretty much this entire season and all their support. This is definitely this has been a long season, like you said, Tommy. It just, like I said, just to be in the conversation and only getting a couple wins during the year at the famous paperclip, but just wanted to be showing some speed pretty much throughout the entire year, and I think we did a pretty good job on that front. So got to thank those folks for all their support just during the entire season, this entire year. So got to give a shout out to all the guys down at Bandit, Justin, Rob, Scott, James, all those guys, Chris. It's been a good year just to kind of lock some laps during the year and just kind of give each other a little bit of a hard time here and there. So Pat and Paints, like I said earlier, just making a fantastic throwback to an old Cup scheme of mine from a few years back. It was fortune was on our side, so we got to take it when we can. And you, Tommy, and you, Matt, you guys turned 200. I cannot wait to pretty much go back on this entire season and watch all the highlights. This has just been a great season. Definitely looking forward to next year for sure. And all the admin guys, Max V, CNC Home Designs. I mean, I just can't thank those guys enough. I mean, they make this stuff possible, and we have a place that we can come to on Thursday nights and just kind of disconnect from the real world for a Thursday night throughout the year. So that's all that I got. So I appreciate you guys.
Well, partner, you earned it. Go party hard. We'll hopefully talk to you again here real soon on a Thursday night, and we'll see you on the track off air as well on a Thursday night as well. But go celebrate this one.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Greg Maul is your 2024 Max V CNC Home Designs Truck Series Drivers Champion, the champion of the playoffs. And I just want to remind the viewers that are still here of something. Greg Maul made it to the round of 8 on a tie. He literally made a pass on the final lap of the Milwaukee Mile to tie for the final playoff spot. So the championship 4 opportunity almost ended at the round of 12. Let's not lose sight of that. How one pass can change an entire season. Greg Maul going to walk away with the championship here tonight. It was a remarkable season, 36 weeks. Not a whole lot of duds in there. I mean, you'll have a few in a long season like that. But, I mean, the bar was incredibly high all season long. It closes out with another very interesting race full of twists and turns. The momentum shifted to every single driver at some point tonight. I mean, what a way to close out a fantastic season of racing.
Yeah, it was a fun one tonight, Tommy. And, for Greg to come out on top, he's got to be just feeling absolutely ecstatic at this point. Yeah, it was a great race. And Man, a 36 race long season. That's a heck of a season to call yourself a champion of. That's a special one to take home at the end of the year. So congratulations again to Greg Maul. And thank you to all of the drivers that are a part of this series and this league. I mean, the field in this league on Thursdays is just absolutely stacked, and they bring the heat every single week. I cannot thank them enough for putting a great product out on the racetrack for us to be a part of. It's awesome. They do a fantastic job. So thank you to all the drivers, and thank you to the folks that are always in the chat cheering those drivers on. Tonight we had Rob Williams in the chat. Shout out to Rob. Hoping to see Rob out on the racetrack on Mondays. Coming up, Andrew Schulte was in the chat, as well as Josh Matichek, Nate Siefker, Michelle Kirk, Mason Knapp, Chris Clements, and Shelly Mall. Shelly's got to be awful excited for Greg here as well. Thank you guys for tuning in, and everybody else that joined us here throughout the season. Very, very much appreciate it. And don't you worry, those few months are going to fly by, and we're going to be right back to Thursday nights here before you know it.
Yeah, things are cooling down a little bit before the holiday season, but we got some Monday truck action coming up. If you like most of the Max V roster, you can see quite a few of them on Monday nights. In Truck 200, it is our all-star truck league. Pretty much every league that we've ever had on the channel is represented by a driver or multiple drivers. Max V almost makes up 25% of the field for the Return 200, which had 60 drivers try to qualify for it. 40 will take the starting grid, led to the green by Heath Smith and Chris Howell from Max V, Justin Michaels, Scott Patton, James Lehman, Brad Schlegel, Brandon Groover, other Max V drivers. Mike Milfeld is in there as well. I mean, a healthy contingent from Max V, and some of the best that the league has to offer as well. We'll go toe-to-toe with some of the best from across the channel. Monday night, 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time, will be when we're on air with the Return 200 season opener for the final season of Truck 200. And then Wednesday night, the ASRL Limited Science and Graphics Sports Car Championship is live from Spa-Francorchamps at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time for that as well. And next time we'll be on air with Max V, presumably. Will be in February. Not 100% sure what the schedule is. There's been talk of just chopping the season in half, or chopping the season in half and flipping it and reversing it. So who knows where we'll be at next, but it should be sometime in February. And we'll look forward to that very much. And again, if you want to race in the Super Speedway series, they're kind of treating that as a recruitment opportunity. It'll just be hosted. It won't be on air here on Turn 200, but you'll catch us on track, I'm sure, for a couple of those races. So we'll hope to see you for those. Come join the Turn 200 Discord. We'll point you in the direction of the Max V Discord as well. Link is in the description of the video. Thank you to everybody that's come out and supported the series this season. Thank you to CNC Home Designs as well. Thank you to the admin team of Max V. Greatly appreciate them letting us do this, and we'll be back for the spring season as well. That's all we got for you here tonight. On behalf of the GOAT, the one and only Mr. Matt Williamson, until we meet again from Phoenix International Raceway, I'm Tommy Cook saying so long, and congratulations to Chris Howell on another race victory, and to Greg Maul, your 2024 champion of the Max V CNC Home Designs Truck Series. This has been a live broadcast on Turn 200. Be sure to hit subscribe and hit the bell to get notified of when we go live next. Thank you very much for joining us, and we'll see you again soon.